Normally, I would start this video by breaking down the design of a skin and then talking about the features like the animations and effects. But today, I'm going to start by showing you the animations, sound effects, and visual effects, and then giving my thoughts on the design. Because I think the design is going to be the ultimate factor in determining whether or not you buy this skin. The League Queen has a total of 13 custom features, and 6 of them are her custom animations. I like her selection animation. It's kind of cool how she spawns the arrows out of nowhere and then attacks without even touching them. It's not a remarkable animation, but there's nothing bad I can say about it. I actually don't own the League Queen yet, so the only way I was able to record this footage for you guys was because of Remneat. Thank you so much to them for letting me record their League Queen. So here's her pose. She throws her arrow and then it spins around her. This animation is okay, kind of average in my opinion. As I look through this skin, the Queen kind of lacks personality. Personality is something that I think adds a lot to a skin, and there's something about it that makes me like a skin much more than a skin with no personality. So the thing about this skin is I just can't exactly pinpoint and describe what her personality is. Here's her walking animation. I can't praise or criticize this. It's kind of an average walking animation that you would expect from any skin. I don't like her attacking animation. I don't know why they chose to do what they did. Like, why is she recoiling when she launches her arrow? And the reason I say that is because of her selection animation. In her selection animation, she shoots the arrow the same way, but it's much more elegant and there's no convulsion. I think it just looks a bit sloppy and it doesn't really make sense. It's not an objectively bad animation. I just don't like it. I like this knockout animation. It's not S tier, but the movements look very natural and it's not funky looking like some other animations. This resting animation is okay. I have nothing bad to say about it. An alternative that I think would have been cool is if her arrow was orbiting around her as she rested, similar to the Primal Warden's resting animation. And a little note about her idle animation on her profile or right after she does her pose animation. Her hair is kind of pulsing and it kind of looks glitchy to me. I can't imagine that this was an intentional addition to the animation. It just seems so out of place. Not gonna make me like her any less, but something I thought I'd point out. Overall, I'm gonna put her animations in the B tier. She's only missing a couple custom sound effects. She's missing her ability and knockout sound effects, but she does have a selection sound effect. I like this sound effect. In fact, it's excellent sound design. It perfectly fits her animation and there's a lot of attention to detail. I don't like this pose sound effect. Most of the sounds just don't fit well. They're close, but the Foley artist or sound curator or whoever put this together, I just don't think they got it quite right. In the background, there's some ambiance which kind of sounds like boiling lava, and I don't think it adds to the sound design at all. I like this attacking sound effect. It's simple, but it works perfectly for this skin. The sound is very, very close to the default sound effect, but it is technically custom. And I think it's different enough, so I'm not gonna criticize it. The deployment sound effect is also technically custom, but this one is not unique to her. There are some other Queen skins that also have this same deployment sound effect. I do like it, but you know, I do like it even more when a skin has an entirely new sound effect. But it is what it is. Her sound effects, I'm also going to put in the B tier. She doesn't have very many custom visual effects. She's missing a selection visual effect, a pose, walk, deployment, and knockout visual effects. The 3 that she does have are her attacking, ability, and resting. For her attacking, I really like the custom arrows. They look amazing. The League Queen definitely would not feel complete without them. Her ability has 2 different visual effects. First, she spawns custom archers, and she has different arrows. The green arrows are okay. I'm not a huge fan of the green. I just don't think it fits this skin. Maybe a bright red would have been a better color to match the color scheme of the rest of the skin. I like the custom archers. I think their design is really cool as far as this Champion League design goes. For what they are, the archers look great. but the fundamental design choice was not ideal, and I'll talk a little bit about that when I get to the overall design of the queen. I actually don't have any footage of her resting that isn't from the dev build, but I'm 99.99999% sure that she has the Z's visual effect when resting, because the king, warden, and champion all have that same effect, and I couldn't imagine that they would leave her out. I might even be able to use some editing magic to add in the Z's so you can see how they would look. Because she's missing a lot of visual effects, I'm putting them in the C tier. So purely looking at stats on paper, the League Queen gives the second best value out of the 4 League skins. The order of objective value is the Grand Warden in first place, then the Queen, King, and the Champion in last place, who has the least amount of custom animations and effects. So essentially, the Queen has more custom animations, sound effects, and visual effects than the King and Champion, and that looks great on paper. But in reality, you have to look at this with your own subjective eye and decide whether this skin is actually a skin you want to buy. So the design is really what it's going to come down to. The design is based on the Champion League, which is not a great starting point. They did their best with what they had to work with, but I don't think this skull design with the weird things branching off the sides is a good design foundation. I imagine it's really hard to make a good looking skin using the Champion League symbol as a reference. So all that to say, I don't like the design of the League Queen. So her design is going in the C tier. The League Queen definitely has some highlights, but I don't like the design, and in reality, the animations and effects are kind of underwhelming for me, especially considering the status of this skin. So it's definitely not gonna be my first choice when going to buy a League skin. Overall, I'm ranking this skin in the C tier, and you can watch my other League cosmetic reviews by clicking this playlist right here.